And I mean, thanks for sharing your story. Is there any last things, words of wisdom, anything, I guess, for even, you have a daughter that's around 4 years old, even for maybe other parents or kids who are looking to get into dance or some of these activities? What are some of the words of wisdom you have from your experiences?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, after looking at my story and going, if you've listened to the whole go around, the biggest thing I would say is the most important thing I found is no matter what turns your path may take or unexpected twists and turns, as long as what I found is most important is to continue with yourself. Like there have been times when, I may have thought, I hate to use the word fail, but like thought I, gave up on dance or may have failed in certain ways. I've felt that way at times. But one thing I never did was give up on seeking. I've always been a seeker. And I think that's why I feel really fulfilled where I'm at now. I'd say fulfilled is a good word, is just, I feel like I found a path where I'm really enjoying what I'm doing. And it's because I've never stopped seeking. I've always been like, okay, there's got to be something, something perfect for me, something, who could I talk to? Where could I look? And oftentimes I see people who kind of are like, oh, well, I'll just kind of do what works, or what kind of works. And that's not everybody, but I just think it's important to stay true to you and to really look in the crevices and see what could really, really work. What do I really want? And for kids, I think the most important thing for kids is community and adults. But community is such a huge thing. I mean, I have found, and I didn't go into this a lot, but the people in my life, especially when I was in Taiwan and when I came back from Taiwan, the people in my life have played such a huge role in like my fulfillment and sticking with my path and everything. I mean, I think community is so huge. And for kids, especially, like when I was a teenager and I quit dancing, it was because I didn't have that sense of community and I didn't have the support I needed from my instructors. And they were amazing instructors, but they were young. That was it. So I just think that for kids, it's just feeling connected and seen and feeling like, I think that is the biggest piece for continuing with what they're passionate about.
That is a great message. And, thinking about it too, that community aspect is a big part of success, right? There's a lot of people that play a part or influence everyone's journey, like how you've experienced, we've all experienced. And sometimes it's understanding that getting the right group of people around you to support you, that may be, the biggest push to move you forward in the right direction. You cannot do all of these things by yourself, right? And beyond that, the community to help others, pay it forward. I think those are all great things that you're doing. And I look forward to so many more things that you're going to be successful at. You have any last words about that? But thanks for sharing all of those words of wisdom.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think that's what I've got. I feel honored to be on this podcast. It's been really fun talking to you, and especially since I've been connected with,
Yes.
with you with this podcast for so long. And
Yes.
it's great being on here as a guest.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. And like I said, you're one of the few that have probably listened to every single aspect or every single minute of the podcast and heard the growth. And it still needs to grow a lot, but you've heard the transformation, I think, from episode number 1, and we're over 100 now. So I thank you for all
Yeah.
of the support and all of the hard work as well with the growth of this podcast. But overall, I mean, thank you so much for sharing your story. I learned a ton. A lot of these stories are very interesting. A lot of people can relate to this, I think. there are, dancers that I've worked with that I've had to learn and understand kind of the background and the experiences that they go through as well. And it's so fascinating because you said this in the beginning of the episode that you don't consider dancers to be like pure athletes, but dance is probably one of the most athletic things that you can do. And I don't know many people, across of different sports who can do what dancers do. So it's a tribute to all of the things that you learned when you were growing up and as a base of just human movement. Overall, thanks for sharing everything. And we'll be sure to put up your Instagram, social media, and any of your information so people can get in contact with you. Thanks so much again for coming on and sharing your story, Emily.
Thank you for having me. And I've learned so much from your podcast, by the way. So I've been able to apply a lot of it to my own life. So thank you for putting this out here too.
Thank you. That's what it's all about, getting connected and sharing, starting these conversations. And if it wasn't for this podcast, I would have never connected with you. So it's been such a great experience.